and welcome to a very special presentation that we have today on how to spot powerful stock moves before they happen. My name is Raul, and I'm the Coaching and Education Coordinator here at TradingWinds.com. If you can hear me and see our title slide on the screen, could you put a Y or a yes in your chat box? Great, thank you so much for that. Our special speaker today is going to be Fausto Pugliese. Fausto and Vince have known each other for quite some time now, and they're old friends. Fausto was one of the original day traders of the early 1990s and one of the first independent traders to take advantage of the direct access trading technology boom in 1987. He acquired a wealth of knowledge from years of hands-on experience, beginning in the trenches, working side by side with some of the most practiced and successful traders in the industry. After spending considerable time mastering the art and discipline of day trading, Fausto chose to start his own company to share some of his highly sought-after wisdom in the markets. He's a 12-time champion at the World Traders Challenge and is the author of How to Beat the Market Makers at Their Own Game, Uncovering the Mysteries of Level 2. It's my distinct pleasure to introduce you to Fausto Pugliese.
Raul, thank you very much, and thank you, Trading Winds, for having me here. Guys, let me just do a quick audio check on myself. Can everybody just give me a chat back if you could hear me loud and clear here? Perfect, perfect. Well, thanks everybody for coming this afternoon. Hopefully everybody's having a great 2015. It's been an exciting one, hell of a roller coaster. It's been going on at the market lately regarding about being up a couple hundred, down a couple of 100 points. I haven't seen this volatile back since, God forbid, since 2009. But it's been a quite exciting event, and that's why Trading Winds wanted me to have here today, because they wanted me to educate all of you a little bit about how to spot powerful stock movers before they happen. Now, before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, I always like to get to know a little bit about the staff or the attendees out of here. Can everyone just give me a chat back and let me know what kind of traders, everyone? Are you stock traders, swing traders, day traders, options traders, Forex traders? Reggie says, I'm all of the above. Okay, good. Chris is day trader, Ian options. Okay, we got a bunch of options traders here. That's good. Roger says he's all of the above. Novice, okay. Robbie do a little swing trading there. Jan does some fun Forex. Good, so we have a little bit of a diversified of all different markets. Good. And another thing, has any of you guys ever seen me do a speaking before? Just give me a yes or no. I'd like to see if anyone has ever seen me or met me before, I've done an event. Pat, you have, okay. Tom, you have. A lot of you saying no so far. Good, 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 good. Where did you guys see me do a speaking last? Or where did you guys find Cybertrade University, just out of curiosity? The money shows, good. All right. Saw me trade live, online. Good, good. All right, guys. Well, I always like to get to know a little bit about everyone, so let me just get right into it. Now, before I do that, first of all, I'd like to thank Raul for doing a quick little intro about who I am and, how I got into the business. Let me kind of just tell you a couple of things we're going to be learning, and then let me tell you about CTU, and then I'm going to get right into doing some teaching you some of the secrets of trading in the markets. Now, first of all, we're going to talk about what is trading. What exactly is it and how it actually works. I'm going to talk about high-frequency trades. I'm going to talk about 70% of the volume that's going to be controlled in the market. I'm going to talk about charts, the KISS method, stocks that we've traded, how to find them, and so much more. Now, before I do that, ladies and gentlemen, let me just give you a little history about who I am and why you need to listen what I'm about to teach you, and why Trading Winds has me here, to kind of educate you guys of why it's so important to learn how to trade and take matters in your own hands. Now, I started the company back in 1995. I'm actually one of the original traders, day traders, so-called SOS bandits, and also Cybertrade University is one of the oldest educational schools in the industry. When I started, there's probably about 2 or 3 schools that you can go to. Now there's over thousands of them all over the world. We kind of pioneered it. And why that is, ladies and gentlemen, because I started education because I wanted to learn how to trade. The problem is you couldn't go to school to learn it. There was only one way to learn, And unfortunately, you had to live here in New York, which is the financial capital of the world, and you had to take a job and have a mentor under your belt. Now, before I became a very good trader, I also became a very successful loser, so I think every great trader always starts by losing a lot. And, and telling you a little bit about how I got into this business and how I made these mistakes. Well, over the years, living here in New York, I learned that you can't do this on your own. And I lost miserably trying to do it on my own. I mean, and I know some of you also here are trying to do it on your own. And I'm just telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, it does not work, okay? You would not give your money to any financial planner or any financial institution that never learned how to trade finance. Well, that's why, all of us need to understand how to play. And with today's technology, you could do a lot of it on your own. And what happened with me, ladies and gentlemen, is that I basically learned from my father. My father always taught me, and being an ignorant little kid, and I know that some of you are not, being older and wiser, but my father was was trying to explain to me, he said, son, the only way you are going to be successful in business is if you like to do something, you have to surround yourself by the smartest and best people in the business. Think about it. How many of you would like to go to the best colleges in the world? But unfortunately, you got to get accepted, and they want to charge you $60,000 a year. Isn't that crazy? Well, you don't have to do that in trading, because trading is the best job in the world, and I swear by that, because you are your own boss. It doesn't cost a lot of money to do it, and you are in one of the most exclusive businesses in the industry. And you know that, because that's why you're here. But what is the problem? It's a 70% failure rate. And what happened with me, ladies and gentlemen, is that when I learned how to trade, I finally said, you know what? People kept asking me, and I know this sounds crazy, but I started when I was 22. I was semi-retired at the age of 24. I was making so much money trading, I was only working an hour a day. People kept asking me, hey, I was at the golf course, and people like, well, where's your dad? I'm like, no, it's my membership. And these people looking at me like, oh, you must be a trust fund money baby. No, I was working, I was trading, and people looked at me, and they saw what I was doing, and they wanted to learn how to do it. And what happened over the years, I said, you know what, I would love to teach the world how to do it, because there's so much negativity of people telling you, oh, you're going to lose your money, don't do it, you're going to lose your money. Well, what ended up happening, the reason why people lose money is because no one ever taught them how to do it. And that's why I have a passion to teach. And if you can look from those two photos right there, on the left, that's Steve Forbes. I rang the closing bell with Steve Forbes just a few months ago. And on the right, Steve Forbes wrote a big article about a bunch of kids tormenting Wall Street. I was one of those kids. Now, over the years, I became a 12-time champion. I competed against every single school. I beat every school all over the world. And the way I look at it is this. If you really want to learn, if I was going to catch your attention, there's no way of doing it better than proving that I could beat everyone. And you're going to see it, ladies and gentlemen. And also at the end of the presentation, I'll tell you a little bit about my book that just came out, How to Beat Market Makers in Their Own Game. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, we need to learn, okay, before we could earn. Now, a question for everyone here. Who here loves trading? Like for example, is this what you're looking to do? Is this your career? How many of you here love trading? There you go. Pat says, I love it. There you go. Tom says, it's fun. Chris, I like yours. Chris says, every minute of it. Okay, well, listen. I always felt, and this is what I've learned over the years, and you know what I'm saying, and we all had jobs in our life. Where do you actually look forward to waking up in the morning? And it says, I can't wait to go to work tomorrow morning. How many of you could actually physically say that? Not too many people can, but you can say that about trading. Even when you lose money, you're still excited to wake up the next morning and says, you know what, I'm going to try to get even. Well, you're here now because now you're here to realize that you found a job that you love. You just need to know how to play the game. So to do that, we have to learn. So that is why 70% of the people fail when it comes to trading. You have to remember, this is a job. This is not investing. You just don't wake up in the morning and says, oh, whatever happens, happens. No. There are things that you have to learn. I'm going to cover and teach you today in the next hour that's going to explain to you that trading is not that hard. The hardest part about trading is the experience and the discipline, and most importantly, finding the right mentor that's going to train you how to do it. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't have patience. A lot of the people out there want to try it first and see what happens and learn the hard way. And this is where Wall Street laughs at us. This is where Wall Street laughs at the people and like, oh, you think you're so smart? You think it's easy just opening up a brokerage account and trying to go right ahead? Because you know what they're doing right now? They're saying, we're going to take the bet. Go ahead, you do it. We'll take the bet. Now, biggest mistake that people make, the number one most popular, biggest failure rate in the industry, why people lose money, is they open up a brokerage account with the wrong one. We go out there, and the first thing I educate everybody, and you know who you are. You know if you're guilty. Just say, I made that mistake. Listen, look at it as this is a way for you to confess to your sins, to make you realize that you want to do this, but let's do it right. You're watching TV. You see brokerage firms out there. You're watching news. You see how easy an access you have to brokerage firms. And they all go out there, earn free trades. You know why they want to earn free trades? You know why they market that? Because that's the free of the cheese in the mousetrap. And let me tell you, it didn't work too good for the mouse. All right? Brokerage firms are trading against you. Okay? They know it's a 70% failure rate. They want you to open a brokerage account. They want you to think you're getting a good deal. They want you to think you're getting a great ticket rate. But what they're doing is they're trading against you. They're going out there and they're taking the bet. Think about it. If you have the opportunity to be a bookie, because I hate to say it, because I can say it because I have no affiliation with some of these brokerage firms, but if they were out there to take the bet and knowing that 70%, some people say it's 90%, that knows that people are going to lose, why wouldn't you not do that? Take the other side. But the reason why you're here, because you don't want to be part of that side. You want to be on the most successful side. And that's why these brokerage firms are in the business. Because we all know cheap tickets are not the way to go. Having a free execution system is not a way to go. Does anyone here own their business? Anyone here own their own business? Val says, hell yeah. Pat says, yes. Is there any such thing of free employees? Is there such thing of free rent? Okay. I got free rent in my office building. They says, oh yeah, we'll give you free rent 2 months. Yeah, of course. Because they got me locked in for 5 years, There's no such thing of free lunches. All right. And there's Bells, I like that one. He says, yeah, they're free headaches. That's exactly what they are. But you're smarter than that. Every single one of you are a smart entrepreneur that realize that there's nothing free in the world. There's no free lunches. You got to be able to have the right tools. And that is why people will consistently lose money when it comes to trading. And hopefully that is not going to be not one of you out here. Now, so what do you need to do? You have to take matters in your own hands. So how do we go about doing that? Well, did you know that you have access to the markets? Anybody know what the word direct access means? Does anybody know what direct access means, the word direct access? Just give me a yes or no. Direct access. Pat doesn't. Tom doesn't. Mike does. Wow, a lot of people are saying no. Not one yes so far. Oh, my God, that's a lot. Oh, we got a yes. Antoinette knows. All right. So, Antoinette, you obviously know what direct access, and so far everybody's saying no. So let me explain to everyone what it means. Direct access means you have instant access to the market. Okay? You have a seat on the exchange. You can buy and sell on the floor. So I'll give you an example. This is, and I use a lot of metaphors. So we all drive. I assume everyone drives a car, okay? But you're driving a car. Now, you have to understand something. There's public transportation, and there's driving your own car. Public transportation is dealing with online brokers, okay? You're dealing, you pay a small fee, and, they'll take you wherever you want. Direct access is like driving your own car. So I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm not surrendering my driver's license and my car to go back to public transportation. I like public transportation. I'll use it. I'm smart enough to know when to use it. But at the end of the day, 95% of my time is spent driving in my car. Well, guess what? If you don't have direct access, then you're dealing with 95% of public transportation. Is that how you're going to run a family? Is that how you're going to run a business? No, it's not. And that's why people lose money in the market. So one of the things we teach you here in Cyber Trading University is we teach you how to trade on direct access, how to go out there and place orders, compete against Goldman, Merrill, Shearson, maybe your next door neighbor, not thinking about online brokers, but dealing about the right broker that's going to give you the right tool. Now, once again, like I mentioned earlier, this is where this is the number one big mistake. Everybody opens an account with the wrong brokerage firm. They're not all bad. Maybe you just don't have the right system with them, and that's where it causes a problem. That's right, Roger. Yes, you choose which exchange order to place out there. Steve, they're called ECNs. That's correct. An ECN is Electronic Communication Network. Actually, I was one of the beta testers for NASDAQ that helped invent the ECNs when they first came out. That's how much history I personally have and experience I have. Okay, I was actually one of the founders that actually helped how the markets were changed today over 20 years ago. And I use them every single day religiously, and it's one of the most important tools that are going to help you to know what the sense of direction goes in the market. Now, another big mistake that people make, and they all think like, and please, ladies and gentlemen, if you're the free fan here, free, oh, I get this free, I get that free, I get that free, okay? Listen, let me explain something to you. I would rather pay $1 than get it free, because the free is only the cheese in the mousetrap. Remember that. There are execution companies out there that are really nice, and the point I'm getting to is this. Brokerage firms out there, there's platforms you need to pay for, and there's platforms that brokerage firms give them to you. You have to learn how to use the trading software. You have to learn how to use the execution system. You have to learn how to place bids and offers. In other words, I'm going to go back to driving a car. You all need to learn how to drive a car. I look at you guys as my children. I tell everybody this because I look at you as that you want to drive a car, and I'm going to go out there, and I'm not giving the keys to you unless you pass your test and so on. But unfortunately, there's no law that prevents anybody here that you have to go through a school to learn how to trade. And that is a major problem. But by you being here, I'm just telling you, you have to learn how to use the trading softwares. A lot of them have paper trading. A lot of them let you demo. I don't know what the urgency why people start trading live immediately and try to jump in, these stocks. I'm going to make a guarantee to all of you. I personally guarantee to all of you that the stock market's not going out of business, okay? And this job is only getting bigger and better every year. So what is the rush, okay? Why does everybody have to start learning how to trade yesterday? You got your whole life ahead of you. So start opening up with the right brokerage account and start learning how to use the execution system. Now, if you look at these systems, they're quite confusing, and they can get very, very complicated. In other words, people start getting into learning indicators and Bollinger Bands and MACD. I mean, some of you guys are getting so overwhelmed with execution systems that all it ends up doing is confusing you, and you end up start being like him. You know, how many of you sit there and feel like this baby? You know, after hearing and getting overwhelmed with all this knowledge and so on. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. That's why you have to learn how to keep things simple. All right? So, and one of the big mistakes that people make is they get too complicated, they read too many, you know, they don't understand what's going on. But I'm going to teach you one very, very valuable lesson that I was trained to me. All right. The first most valuable lesson that was trained was timing during the day. Okay. Now, just to let everybody know that trading is a part-time job. It's not a full-time job. All right. If you're sitting at your computer all day, I'm going to tell you you're going to probably have a more chance of losing than winning. Trading is an extremely part-time job. Actually, 90% of your time should only be spent. 90% of the time should only be spent on education. 10% is spent on live trading in the market. So you could see, if you really want to spend a lot of your day, this is education. This is where you spend most of your time. And here's an example. Okay, this is here's a timing of a chart, which you could see right here, how a stock made its big move over the course of the day, and in less than 15 minutes, the stock had a big run up right at the open. Okay, now I don't know if anyone here knows this, but did any of you guys go out there and trade or can see pre-market trading? Can anybody see pre-market and aftermarket? Yes, Ben, this is being recorded for your listening pleasure. We'll actually send you the email to log in. Roger, you can. Donald, you can. Steve, you can. Roger, you have level 2. Well, level 2 doesn't work as good as level 3, which we're going to talk about next. All right, good. Well, you know what? That's about 6-7 people right there. There's about 150 people here, and I'm shocked that that's all that you probably have. How many of you could actually see that? That's not enough. Do you know that most of the action happens in the pre-market? You know, there's a lot of stocks, and we're going to talk about it. Actually, have any of you guys ever seen live trading before in the market? Any of you ever seen a live professional trader trade and what it's like to happen an hour before the open and see what happens after hours and see what – well, guess what? At the end of this presentation, I'm going to invite all of you to come join me for a week to see what it's really like. You know, that's going to be fun. So you definitely don't want to go anywhere to find out how to register for that. But the thing is, timing during the day is the most critical and the most profitable time when you make most of your money. Here's one example. Okay, look at this, what happened to this stock, AMBA. And there's a lot of them. Actually, there's a few of them this morning we're going to bring up. Even if you look at, for example, here, I'll bring up one of them so you guys are probably familiar with. Anyone heard of Microsoft? Of course you have, right? Probably noticed it's not doing too well today. Let me bring up a chart right here really quick. Look what happened to Microsoft. This is pre-market. Okay, look what happened in the pre-market. From 7:30 this morning, it went from $43 all the way down to $42.80, which is not a lot. You know, when you really think about it, it's not a huge drop, but you see the trend right there? You see how the stock is falling down as the day goes on? Let's say you started your trading day at 8:30 in the morning, and you watch the stock go from $42.85 down to $42.75. You're talking a 10 cents drop. Still not a lot, but you could see the trend. Does everybody see that? And then look what happened at 9:30. The stock goes all the way down. In a matter of 15 minutes, it went from $42.75, which you saw from the trend, all the way down to $42.20. Now do the math, everybody. Let's do the math. What is $44.70 minus $42.20? Everybody have a calculator? Should be able to add that up. Let's see. Let's have a little pop quiz. How much of a win is that? 4280 minus 4220. 4280 minus 4220. 80 minus 20 is what? 50 cents. Actually, 60. I'm sorry. I said 80. Yeah. 80 minus, as was 70. 80 minus 20 cents is 60 cents. 60 cents, ladies and gentlemen, times 1,000 shares is how much money? $600, okay, in a matter of 15 minutes. Who here doesn't want that job, okay? And guess what? You noticed it just from pre-market. It was happening all that time. And this is what I was trained by my mentors here at Cybertrade University, okay? Not Cybertrade University, in New York. The financial capital of the world, working as a prop trader. Remember, I was a trader. I was a NASDAQ trader. And these are things that they were training you. And I just picked the stock out of the hat, okay? I wasn't even thinking of showing this to you. But this is basically how things happen. Now, some of you guys are looking at, Apple and all these. We'll look at those stocks a little bit later. But before we do that, I just want to kind of just show you a little bit of what it's like to actually trade stocks that do those big jumps early in the morning. Here's another example. Look at this stock. It went from $49.50 at 9:30. Oops. From 9:30, and in a matter of what? 45 minutes, ran to 52.25. What is that? A $3 move? Not bad for a day's pay for what? 45 minutes. So these are things that you have to look at, ladies and gentlemen. So timing during the day, I want you all to know, is a part-time job. Now, let me get back, if you guys were good listeners, or maybe some of you logged in a little bit late. Remember what I told you when I first started. I was 22 years old, and I was already semi-retired at 24 because I was only working an hour a day. And my mentors always taught me that. They says, Fausto, you better find a second job, because when you start realizing that you only work about an hour, that's it. Most of your time that you're going to be spending right now is education. But once you learn how to trade, you're going to spend more time learning than trading. Let's a question to everybody. How do stocks go up and go down? Can everybody answer that question? I got a question that actually just came in. Majid says, in option spreads are very large early in the AM. Well, once again, I know I saw a lot of people here said that they're options traders. And you know what? That's great. I love options. I prefer options over swing trading because I like leasing instead of buying. If I total the car, it's their problem at the end of the lease, right? But the thing is this: to be a good options trader, you have to learn how to trade the stock first before you could trade the option. Okay? Some of you are Forex traders. Well, Forex, whatever happens in stocks will affect the Forex market. Whatever happens in Forex can happen. Look what happened to oil, for example, on futures. It affects certain stocks that trade. So you need to understand all the markets. So that's good. So I want you guys to be aware of that. But there's something that all of us are very, very familiar with is obviously stock trading, because we hear it every day. You deal with companies all day and probably didn't realize it's a public company, Anyway, the question I had for all of you is, how do stocks go up and go down in the market? Can everyone answer that question? You should all be able to answer that question. If you can't answer this question, I'm going to do you a big courtesy. Just quit trading right now, just in general. And I'm being honest. Every single one of you should answer this question. Just write S&D. You don't have to write the whole thing if you can't spell or it's too long. Just write S&D if you can, just so I know that you're alive. Thanks, Stan, Irene, Mike, Carl, Peyton, Ray, Keith. Good. All right. So how do stocks go up and down? If you said supply and demand, you're absolutely correct. Okay, so by understanding supply and demand, what do we need to do? Follow the money. All right? Now, let me explain something to you. If I was to teach you right now how to follow the money, what is that worth to you? If I was just to tell you, hey, I'm going to show you how to follow the money. What is that worth? Would you pay for something like that? Majid said you'll pay a lot. $1 million from balls, $1,000. Okay, a fortune. All right, well, listen, I'm not going to charge anything for it, all right? I just want you to understand that if you want to succeed in trading, my biggest concern is I hate seeing people lose money. Nobody here should lose money. You got to remember there are 10 million people out there plus trading every day. There are about 200 of you here today, okay? You of the 200 are going to be one step ahead of every other 10 million people out there for one reason, because they don't know how to play the game. And the game that we all agreed upon is it's all supply and demand. What I'm going to show you right now is one of the Wall Street's biggest secrets, and if you buy my book, you're going to even learn more in detail how it works, okay? But let me just teach you basic 101 how to follow money, all right? So let's have a little fun. Everybody ready for a little pop quiz? Everybody to test their knowledge of how good of a trader they are, if they're ready to trade? Who here wants to learn and know if they're ready? Everybody ready to kind of take a little quiz and say, okay, let me see if I know what I'm doing. Ron says, I'm ready. Okay. Got a couple of yeses. Wow, look at everyone out now. All of a sudden, everybody woke up. All of a sudden, that's what I like to hear. Good. All right. So I assume everyone here knows how to read a chart. It's the first thing people do. All right. So let's look at this chart right here. All right. The stock. Let me get my little pointer out here really quick. Okay, there we go. All right. So you can see the stock was at 298 or 297, whatever you want to call it. It went down to 292, and now the stock is going back up. Now, looking at this stock, at where it's trading right now, do you think the stock is going up, or is the stock going down? Okay. And if you said up or down, if you can just very briefly, just tell me what gave you that assumption. Robert says because it's uptrending. Okay. The last trade, Tim is saying. Keith is saying it's breaking out. Micah says it just broke resistance. It just broke a new high, Ray. Wow, I'm trying to answer everybody's questions as quickly as I can, but looks like I've kind of touched a nerve right now. High, but momentum is lower. Joan is saying big bars are up. All right, good. So we're getting a lot of feedback. Okay, good. All right. So let me change the slide really quick here, and let me just show you. So if you said we'll look at the stock, obviously a lot of you looking at bars. Some of you guys are looking at breaking higher highs. Some of you are counting. Some of you saying it's got a teacup. Whatever it is. Okay. Now the question that we said earlier. By looking at the chart, everybody, do you see buyers and sellers out there? Okay, you don't. Okay. And one of you mentioned he needs more indicators. Okay. Well, what is an indicator? Where's an indicator get its data from? What makes an indicator move? Well, we all know that they're lagging. Price, volume, which once again are buyers and sellers, right? Okay. So we don't want to. Nobody here wants to be a lagger, right? You want to be a leader. Well, any of you guys ever heard of level 3 before? Anybody heard of level 3? Some of you heard level 2. Anybody heard of level 3? Okay. Well, what you're looking at right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a level 3. These are your buyers. These are your sellers. Okay? This amount of shares are looking to be bought, the price on the bid, and these are the people trying to sell it on the ask, which are the sellers, and the amount of shares. Now, does anyone notice anything substantial, any substantial buyers or sellers out there at a specific price? Does anybody notice anything, obviously we all said supply and demand. Do you guys see any substantial buyers or sellers? Okay, I think everyone is noticing that there's a big 75,000 share buyer at $2.97. Did everybody see that? Okay. So if you had a choice, whose side would you want to be on? The guy with the 75,000 or the guy that's looking to sell 2,000? I know it's a dumb question, but you know what? At the end of the day, some of you guys are looking at indicators, right? And you're looking at a chart and you're like, well, why is this thing really going up? You know why it's going up? Because you have a 75,000 share buyer out there, not because of Mr. Fibonacci said so, okay, or not Mr. Bollinger's bad said so. It's because there's a big buyer out there. So now ask yourself a question, and this is a very important question, which is going to make you realize that if trading is for you or not, okay? How many of you here are monitoring the buyers and sellers in the stock that you're in? How many of you here are seeing big block orders that are looking to be bought on the bid and ask? Wow, getting a lot of no's. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay if you said no, because that's why we're here, right? We're here to learn why we're losing money so we could stop doing that again. You see, I'm a big fan of losing money. I know that sounds crazy, but, you know, I was always trained by my mentors, and this is what I train my students. Losing money is a good thing. If you know why you did it, you won't do it again. I mean, that's the bottom line, right? So, because, you know, how are you going to prevent, if you don't know why you lost money, how are you going to prevent that from happening? I mean, you're always learning, and we're learning every single day. And one of the biggest mistakes that I was taught is that the most important thing that I was taught is that if you want to do things successful, you have to learn from the best people in the industry. And this is what the first thing my mentor taught me. He says, Fausto, you like trading? I'm like, absolutely. You look forward to waking up in the morning? Absolutely. You know, especially when you live here on Long Island, where I'm from, in New York, you know, and you're seeing these people, anyone ever heard of the Hamptons? And you're seeing these people, the Hamptons out in Long Island, you probably see TV shows and reality shows about it, and you're seeing, like, they just sold a piece of property to a big hedge fund guy, and, like, why is everybody into finance? Would they pay, I think it was like $110 million for a piece of property, not even a house on it. The house going to cost them another, you know, 30, 40 million. Like, where do these people get their money from? Well, that's, you know, there are more wealthy people that trade the market than in any business in the world. Okay, remember that. It's not real estate. It's not CEOs of certain companies. It's anyone, the most wealthiest, the most amount, not just the most wealthiest, but the most millionaires that are out there are people who work for oil companies and people in finance. Okay, not being a doctor, not being a lawyer, which we all know they make good money, certain ones, but financing is where it is. Yes, this is going to be recording, because some of you keep asking, is this going to be recorded? It is recorded, and we will be emailing everybody the log on to watch it later for their listening pleasure. All right, so now you could see the main reason this is what we call HFTs, which are high-frequency trades. You know, so the first thing that everybody needs to understand, that if you want to go out there and you want to make money in the market, you need to follow the money. You need to follow where the big block orders are, okay? And we call these here, these big block orders at Cyber Trading University, we call them iceberg orders, okay? There's a lingo that we teach our students. Do you see the iceberg order here? Do you see the iceberg? This is the most important thing that we educate our students. Because it's not what Fausto Pugliese thinks, or you, Donald, or you, Albert, or you, Bruce, or Jack, or it's where these big block orders are going to dictate the price of the stock. Because when you really think you know what's going on with the stock market, you're going to lose. Follow the money. And if you're not following the money, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? You're on the wrong side of the trade. People ask me all the time, they says, hey, Fausto, somebody told me about this stock. What do you think? Fausto, could you check out this company? Let me know what you think. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to think. I got to go look at it. I got to see where the orders are. I still can't look at a chart and tell you. the chart shows me minimal amount of data. And I know all of you guys are so fixed on charts. I mean, charts are good, but it doesn't give you all what you need, because where's the chart get its data from? Orders. And that's the way you have to look at it. So the next thing you have to understand is about having a game plan, okay? Now, have any of you guys ever heard of dark pools? Anybody heard of a dark pool before? Any of you guys ever heard of program trading? How about that? Anybody ever heard of program trading? Okay. These are things that you guys need to be very, very aware of, and it's not a disadvantage. It's an advantage towards you. They just use ugly words, like, what's the big news in football today? With the Flakegate, what do they call it? I mean, the thing is, anything that will, and what was the big news here just recently here in New York, the big storm that, and what did it do? It just made TV ratings take off for the roof. It's all about supply and demand. And when it comes to trading, guys, the number one most important thing that will never change, which is getting easier and better with today's technology and program trading, is you have to follow where the orders are. How many of you here put limit orders out there? Do you really think that order's not being, do you think those orders are not being exposed? They're being advertised. I mean, think about it. You do it all day long. And how many? And you might sit there and think like, "Oh, I'm a genius because the stock hit resistance levels. I knew it. I hit it. It's there. $5. You know why I hit $5? Not because the chart said so. Because you got 14,000 shares, 6,000 shares, 13,000. If nobody sells it to these sellers out there, that thing's going down. And that's why when you get a lot of, which I hope another thing we teach you here at Cybertrade University, time and sales. Now you know if these orders go down. Donald says, does TradeStation provide level 3 in order flow? Listen, a lot of these brokerage firms offer it, okay? Certain ones, they don't like to tell you about it. Some brokerage firms don't even know what you're talking about because they don't want you to know what they're doing, all right? But the thing is, Donald, you have to learn. And at the end of this presentation, Don, okay, I will make a commitment to you and everyone else. If you really want to learn this stuff, I can't teach you in an hour, okay? I need a couple of days. I need a couple of days for some of you to watch me trade live in the market, okay? So you could see it live. I'm just out of curiosity, have any of you guys ever seen someone trade live in the market? And see students, not even just me or, but other instructors and other, wow, and there's not a lot of you. Okay, well, I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to come join me. All right, and see what it's like to be in a real trading environment and see this data and see that Fausto and Cybertrade University are not just blowing smoke. But when you go there, you'll see the fire. But my goal today and what Trading Wins want me to do is, because I'm a big contributor to the trading community and been doing this, and one of the only or maybe very few people out there that teaches how to day trade or how to trade the market, it's going to take a little time to kind of train you a little bit more to kind of get to comprehend. My goal today is just to get your attention if this is something that you're looking to do and you're looking to move forward with it. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is how to find stocks. Now, there's the other thing people ask. How did you find this one and find that one? And I'm not talking about Apple, okay, which we all know Apple came and broke a record of earnings, and the thing is taking off. It's a lot more than just that, all right? There are over 25,000 stocks that trade the market. Why does everybody have to trade the same ones? I have no idea, okay? The number one thing that I was trained, and the way I was trained how to find stocks is basically you want to find stocks that have volatility in it, that have movement. Now, think about it. Are you here to trade Apple or are you here to make money? I mean, that's the question. Why is everyone here? To know how to trade Apple or to make money? Okay, thank Tim, Tom, Ray. Thanks. You're here to make. I mean, I know it's a dumb question, but everybody keeps talking about the same damn stocks, and I just don't. And the first thing I was trained is you don't want to trade what everyone else is trading. Okay, because you're going to be dealing with a lot more shares, a lot more competition, a lot more volume, and you know what? You're dealing with the best traders on Wall Street, and you're not going to beat them. All right. So one thing I was trained is how to work and look on top movers. Now, like I told you earlier, we run a professional trading room. I run a Twitter page, a Facebook page, a professional chat room, trading room, which all of you could be happy to come and see what it's all about. At the end of this presentation, you could join us. But one thing we do is, like, I'll bring up one stock that we traded, did pretty well in one day, VA. All right. Did anyone here ever trade VA before? Virgin America? Anybody ever trade Virgin America? Okay. Virgin America, if I told you a stock was going up 17%, okay, and it was a $33 stock, who here wouldn't want to take that job? Who here wouldn't want to trade that stock? Because Apple wasn't up, you know, with all the great news it came out with, that wasn't up 17% today, okay? But, you know, buying a stock at 33 and selling it at, let's say, 35, making $2, not bad for a day's pay than risking $120. I'll risk $30 all day. Less risk, more reward. Trades that we've done. This wasn't today, actually. This was a couple of days ago, a little while ago. But here's another stock that I tweet and I text, a stock called Sun. Look at the stock right at the open. This is something I wanted to show you. Look at the stock, how it traded at the open. Okay, great pre-market trading. Stock was going up, right? Finally, at 9:30, the stock was trading new highs. You get to see what happened, and boom, the stock goes from $19 in a matter of 15 minutes to $20, almost $21. I don't know about you, not bad for a day's pay. This was actually one of our trades that we traded in the morning. How did I find this stock? In my percentage gainers and losers list, and also knowing, and which I work with my traders, and all of you could see it live, we see a lot of this action happening in pre-market. We have special tools that will let us know what's happening in pre-market, okay? PLNR. Anybody trade this stock? Hope no one's, you know, I hate to say, I kind of use this word, racist. Hope no one's racist against stocks under $5. I get people tell me like, oh, I don't trade $5 stocks. I'm too good for that. Oh, they told me don't trade stocks under $5. Well, you know what? Stock goes from $3.50 to $7. You think I got a problem with that? Up 75%? What's wrong with that? Okay? And look what happened right at the open. Stock just takes off, even if you chased it. And it all happened over pre-market. Even if, you know, money's money at the end of the day. You think your spouse cares about how did you made money today, as long as you didn't do anything illegal or steal anything, you know? You think she, you know, if you see, this is the funny, this is how we kind of trade our students. And this is general public, and these are our students. The general public, you know, will be like, oh, I heard Apple did good today. Did you trade? I'm like, no, absolutely not. People come up to me and says, well, I thought you're in finance. I thought that's what you do. You're a trader. They're like, I would never trade Apple today. Why would I trade Apple and risk $120 stock? I found another stock up 75% today, and it was 20 times less money. In other words, I would rather buy and sell Honda Accords than sell Ferraris. You know why? I would love to own a Ferrari, but why would I go out there and be in the business, not for me personally because I like them, but as a business, if I had to invest money to make money, I would rather buy and sell Hondas all day than sell Ferraris. If it's the same amount of money, what's the difference? Less risk, more reward. GNW, another stock here. Great short. Look what happened in the pre-market. I mean, I don't know how much more I can kind of show you and kind of prove it to you, but look at that. Right at 9:30, you could have chased it, saw what happened in the pre-market. And by the way, we do trade in pre-market. And then boom, once everybody else had access to it, the thing goes down. FSL, here's a stock that we traded today. This was actually this morning. Did anyone see what happened to FSL today? Anybody trade FSL? FSL. Anybody heard about FSL today? Let me just bring that up. Nobody heard about FSL today. It was one of our tweets that we did. And listen, not all my stocks are winners, but the whole point is, you got to know how to run with your winners and see how to control those losses. But look at this stock. It's a stock that we tweeted today. It was one of the stock trades that we did, and FSL was one of the trades stocks we found. And in the pre-market, you can see here, right at 9:30, the thing goes from $30 all the way in a matter of 15 minutes to 33. Okay, do the math. $30 stock times 1,000 shares is $3,000. If you can't afford $30, 30,000. If you bought 100 shares, you made 300. How about that? Okay, and about the part-time job I was talking about, this is why it's a part-time job. Because if you made your money in 15 minutes, why else you got to continue to trade? Because who knows where it's going to happen in the future? Things always back off. Who here doesn't want that job? And that's why we're all here, because this does exist. Now, if you don't believe me it exists, this is why I'm going to invite all of you to come and join me and watch it in the live markets. And which a lot of you probably didn't have an opportunity to see that. Now, listen, there are a lot of schools out there, and there's some people that have some really pretty looking PowerPoint presentations, but that doesn't make them traders. Okay. One thing I always advise everyone is that if you like a presenter and you think you can learn from him, well, let's see him put his money where his mouth is. That's why I was a 12-time champion. Because, the thing is, a lot of people be like, oh, yeah, this Fausto makes perfect sense, but let me see it really happen. And that's why I go out there and I says, okay, well, now you're going to have the opportunity to see what it's like. A couple of questions. Check out Tesla. Why would I trade Tesla at $200? Okay, when I could trade a stock like FSL where I'm risking almost 10 times less money with more of a reward out there. You understand, Mike? You're here to make money, not because they got great options or great anything else. There's a lot of the stocks that you could have great options out there other than some of the other stocks. And that's right, Richard. And what about options? Well, you know what? If you listened to me earlier what I said about options, you want to be a good options trader? Well, you better learn how to trade the stock first, because it's the movement of the stock that makes the option move. So potential income. Think about it. You buy 1,000 shares of stock, it moves 50 cents. 50 little stinking cents. You make $500. 20 trading days, you're talking about over $10,000 a year, you're talking a six-figure salary. Who here, think about it. You guys see stocks, if your goal is you only had to make 50 cents, that's it, 50 cents. That's all you had to do. How many stocks move 50 cents today? Thousands. Thousands of stocks. Okay? 50 cents, that's all you need. That's all you're looking for, 50 lousy cents. Think about it. Being consistent, you're making a six-figure salary. Who here, is on Social Security, and it's not paying enough, okay? Who here are too qualified to go back to work? Who here is sick and tired of running a business and worrying about you're always the bad guy and worrying about taxes and rent and, government agencies coming after you, always looking at you're the bad guy? You know what? Forget it. Cash that in. Stay home. Work from home. Be a trader. Enjoy life. Life is too short. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, that's opportunity knocking on your door. You got the greatest job, the greatest opportunity. You don't have to go to college to learn and spend the $250,000 and take 4 years of your life. You have the opportunity to go out there and get a great income of a business right at the luxury in your own pajamas, staying home. But why is it such a big failure rate? Because Nobody wants to sit back and learn how to do it, and that's why I feel so privileged and honored that you guys are here. I really do, because this is why I love teaching, because you guys are here to realize, can I really do this? I mean, how many of you here are sitting there like, I know I could do this. I just know I can. I just don't know why I'm making the same bonehead mistakes. And I'll tell you why. Because you didn't find the mentor to train you how to do it. Because every single one of you need a mentor, and don't you forget it. All right? So please remember that, ladies and gentlemen. You might not want to learn from me, or you might not want to learn from Cyber Trading University or other instructors, but Trading Wins and every other company out there are going to tell you the same thing. You all need a mentor. And believe me, more than one is fine. You could always listen. I still learn every day. I sit in classes. I pay money to sit and learn somebody's secret. If it teaches me one very important tool, hey, that will pay me tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars down the road. Kumo says, I like your points and views about becoming a trader. Well, listen, remember, I was you 20 years ago. And let me tell you, and I'm telling you this, no kidding aside, it's getting a lot easier. Not that from what my experience, it's just that when I first started, you had to get a license, you had to pass a test, you had to trade someone else's money. It was a lot more difficult. And a lot of rules have changed, make things easier. That's why I'm ecstatic that you guys are here. Because you guys have a great opportunity to do it. But you got to learn from somebody. You got to learn from a mentor. Now, for some of you here, if you want to learn a little bit more about Cyber Trading University and follow me, we have a great Facebook page. I got great a Twitter page. You could find a lot of great videos, thousands of videos that we have on YouTube. Remember, I've been doing this for 20 years, so you can imagine how many great examples are out there, great opportunities, very short, nice clip videos for you guys to watch. Now, who here wants to learn more about and seeing how to do this in trading? How many of you here could come and watch me trade live? Okay? If you don't have to be there for a week. If you can make 1 or 2 days, that'll be more than enough. All right. That 1 day is more than enough to pay for it. Well, this is what we're looking to do. For some of you who don't know this, before I tell you about how to register and come here, just to let you know, Cyber Trading University does more education for more brokerage firms than any school in the industry. These are just to name a few. We do probably about 50 brokerage firms. And the reason why is because brokerage firms can't teach you. They have a compliance issue. That's why they come to good schools like Cyber Trading University and endorse us. By the way, if you go on any of their websites, you'll find me. I've done a lot of speakings on their websites and recordings from there also. Because the thing is, they know what we teach works. That's what it is. And also, for some of you logged in late, just to remind you that we were also ranked #1 school 6 years in a row by Equities Magazine. So if you want to become a better trader today and you want to learn a little bit more, this is what I'm going to ask all of you. I want all of you to make a very, very small investment to get my book, okay? And I will personally autograph and sign it directly to you, okay, my book, and it's going to teach you how to beat market makers at their own game. Now, this is the first day trading book that hasn't been out in 20 years from Wiley. Wiley, one of the most prestigious publishing companies in the world, actually, came to me and wanted to publish this book several years ago, but I kept blowing it off because, you know what, I'm not in the book writing business. It's kind of, but at the end of the day, I could see the value of it. The last one hasn't been out in 20 years since the So's Bandits. That was written by Harvey Halkin. So I want you to buy my book. I will personally sign it for $49, and it's going to teach you the art of trading in the market. And if you sign up today, we'll get it out to you, so you should have it by the end of the week. Now, with a bonus, when you buy my book, you're going to get a 1-week trial of my live trading room. This is a $300 value, okay? So everybody here is going to have access to my professional trading room of what's going on in there. And as also, you all going to have access to an education advisor instructor that's going to tell you a little bit more about your purchase and what to expect being in the trading room. So once you purchase this, ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, you will have access to the trading room immediately. Immediately. We have speakings that go on over the course of the day. We have training that goes over the course of the day. So, and you're going to be able to see some of the stocks that we're trading over the course of the day, and you're going to be seeing the hundreds of students that we've trained. Now, we only allow 20 people a week that will be able to go in the trading room. If the 20 people get booked up, we're going to have to reserve you for the following week. So, and better yet, if you have a day that you feel like, listen, you don't want to start your 1 week trial, then just let your education advisor know. So you're getting two great packages. You're getting my book, and you're getting the 1 week trial. You can call now at 877-70-CYBER, talk to, make sure you book your appointment with the education advisor, or you can register online. And once again, it's $49, and you're getting the 1 week trial. All you need to do is, let me just bring up the web page. Go to cybertradinguniversity.com. Let me just get you the link. And right on the home page right there, you can see it. You go to c2.co, just click on that link, and you'll be able to register right there. Let me actually put it in the chat room for you. Hopefully everybody can see that. Okay, so now what I'd like to do, ladies and gentlemen, does anyone have any questions so far? What if we can't trade, you trade the IRA? Well, listen, whatever I teach you, you could still apply it towards your week. You could use it towards your investing. Absolutely. Well, if you know how to day trade, you're going to make you that much better of a swing trader. How large of an account do you need to start? You don't need a lot of money. That's a misconception that people make. You don't need a lot. I preferably like to trade stocks under $10 because it's less risk, more reward. And you're going to learn that with experience. You don't need to trade an expensive stock to make money. Jeff, the room says 2 weeks. I think, you know what? Talk to an education advisor, and they'll tell you a little bit more about that. I think that's a bonus that's going to be going on. I live in the UK. Can I buy your book? Absolutely, Keith. The only thing is the shipping might be a little bit more money to ship to UK. That's it. Daryl says, I'll take a copy. Well, Daryl, listen, I look forward to it. You know, listen, enjoy the book, Daryl. The book will go out today. You'll get it within the next 24 to 48 hours if you live here in the States. And just make sure you check with your education advisor to let them know about your trial. Remember, once again, only the first 20 people will be able to start today. After that, if it gets booked up, because we only have limited seats that were allowed in the trading room. A lot of them, there's about 150, 200 students in there at a time. We cap out at 200, so we only reserve 20 seats. So after that, if it gets booked up, you could always review. You could always do the following week. A couple other questions coming across here. Let me ask, what do you see in level 3 that you don't see in level 2 from Wien? About 20 times more data. Level 2 does not show you all the orders out there. It only shows you the best bid and the best offer. Jeff says the pay, let me see. Tim, what percentage of traders lose money? What percent? About 70% of the people who trade lose money in the market. And that only reason why people lose money in the market because no one ever trained them how to trade. Listen, the worst thing that could happen to you, Tim, by doing and reading the book and being there for a week is that you learn something. That's the worst thing that could happen, you know? Oh, and one last thing before we go. One last thing I'm going to offer as a bonus, all right? I personally guarantee that if I can't show you anything that's making money, or if you're not satisfied, I'll give you money back. Okay? Now, if that doesn't impress you, I don't know what more or less could convince you to just come and try it out. Once again, it's personal. I'm going to throw a bonus at it. I'm going to throw a wrench in there. My staff is probably going to get ticked off at me and be like, Fausto, what are you doing? Listen, I am so confident that all of you guys are going to be so impressed on your purchase because I'd rather you learn and know because you know what? For $49, maybe trading's not for you, but at least you understand the game plan. So there you go. Personally guarantee it for you, okay? A couple of the questions. Ronald says you got my money. Well, I look forward to seeing you in the trading room, hopefully in the next few minutes. Is the trading room for are you expanding while you're making these trades and making them? Yes, I am, Daryl. Absolutely. They're actually going, you'll see the trading actually happening. But most importantly, what you're about to learn, Daryl, is don't watch myself and my instructors in there. Watch the other students. See, what you need to know, Daryl, is can Cyber Trading University teach me how to make money? That's the question you're looking for, okay? And that is what all of you guys are looking for. So that's why you have to make somewhat of an investment in yourself and time to do that, okay? Just out of curiosity, what is the most important thing that you guys thought you learned today? Because everybody, when you do a free event, one thing you always want to come at if something is, you spent an hour being here. What's the best, the most important thing that you thought you learned coming out of this room? Ian says level 3. Good. Requirements level 3 from Carl. Watching volume and trading stock from Mike. Okay, good. Had no idea what I was doing from John. Okay. That's great to hear. And that's why, and by the way, another last thing about Trading Wins, I'd like to thank them for making the opportunity for making this all happen, because without them, I wouldn't have the opportunity to talk in their behalf and educating you guys a little bit more about the power and the control and the great thing about about learning how to trading take matters in your own hands. Paul says moving to the Hamptons. Paul, I guess you're moving there sometime soon, or maybe looking forward to watch some of those reality shows. What do they have, the Kardashians now in the Hamptons now? I mean, my wife was saying, what's going on out there? No trading system is perfect. How to minimize your losses from Tim. Okay, that was that's nice to know. Good to hear. Guys, I can see a lot of you guys are calling in. If the lines are busy or nobody's because we're very limited with staff due to the snowstorm here in New York, the best thing to do, like I recommend you to do, is just go online and register online. First come, first serve are going to be the first 20 that get in the trading room. That's the best thing I could tell you. How do you find level 2 and level 3, Jack? Jack, that's a great question. Buy my book, attend my event, and I'll show it to you. I don't like telling people in free webinars, because this is what's going to happen. Everyone's going to go out there and try it, and they're not going to know what they're looking at, and you're going to actually do more harm than good. And I don't want you to do that. Let me show you how to do it right. Okay? So make that small investment, and also, like I told you, it's guaranteed. If you're not happy, you got a week. You got over 100 hours of live trading that's going to go on. You got a couple of videos you're going to get. Learn from there and go and do it. Because I'd rather, listen, my goal is, do you believe that this data exists? Do you believe that you could do things out there and see this stuff? Then let me show you how to do it right. Okay? That's like saying, oh, there's such thing of a car, but you're like, oh, let me try it first. You might get into an accident and kill yourself. You don't want to do that. Do you get level 3? Did you get 3 feet of snow out? No, I didn't, Don. We got where I live, I got about maybe 1.5 feet. Looks like those politicians and news broadcasters got that way off. Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? Got about another minute before we go. All right, and in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, looks like just to let everybody know what you're about to expect. When you get into the trading room, this is basically the trading room that you're going to be registering for. Right now, you can see these are our traders. We're broadcasting and showing you exactly what is going on. The traders right now are looking at, like Brett is looking at COM, worth watching. We're looking at a stock, CRUS. You could see it went from 26.80 to 27.80 in a matter of 30 minutes. You could see all the These are the picks that we had this morning. You could see basically all the chatter that's going on. There's a live audio broadcast that's going on. There's a lot of great stuff that's going on in the trading room. A lot of people have gone already because it is lunchtime. But the thing is, these are the things you're going to be getting with that package. So in the meantime, guys, if you have any questions, any concerns, I'm going to give you my personal email address. Why don't you put it in the chat room. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. I'd rather you know the truth than go out and learn it the hard way. In the meantime, guys, listen, thank you so much. Thank you very much, Trading Winds, for having me. Guys, thanks for being here, and look forward to seeing you in the trading room. For myself and anyone at Cyber Trading University, we wish you a happy and healthy life, healthy trading, and thanks for being here. Bye-bye.